Today was a great day if you are an Indian chess fan because three Indians have made it into the quarterfinals. Leading the charge is this sensation, Dommaraju Gukesh. Now, Gukesh has had a memorable World Cup if you have to look at it in Baku because in the start of the tournament when he put on some great performances, he ended the 30-year dominance of Viswanathan Anand that was there in the Indian chess circuit. Now, if you have to look at the Indian number one in chess, it is Gukesh. Gukesh's performance today against Wang Hao ensured that he is ready for the big stage in a very big way. And because of that now, Gukesh has entered the quarterfinal of the Chess World Cup when it comes to the men's section. Now remember, 5 Indians are still in the fray. We know the status of 3 of them. The other 2 will be determined by tomorrow because Gukesh in his performances today against Wang Hao, he had drawn the first game. Today he defeated Wang Hao and that is why he now faces Magnus Carlsen. World number 1 versus India number 1. That is the situation that we are facing at this point. Now if you look at it, this contest will determine who will win the Chess World Cup in a way because we now know that one of the Chess World Cup champions, the defending champion, Jan-Christoph Duda, he's been eliminated. So that is why you're going to have a Chess World Cup champion, a new one. So Magnus Carlsen versus Dommaraju Gukesh, that is the quarterfinal that has been confirmed after the results today because Carlsen defeated Vasily Ivanchuk, the legend, the Ukrainian chess legend. He defeated him pretty easily and Gukesh put on a great show against Wang Hao, which meant that he will now face Magnus Carlsen. World number 1 versus India number 1. It is the clash for the ages that you're going to see at the Chess World Cup in Baku, which was now reaching the real business end. The quarterfinals are finally upon us and we know one of the quarterfinalists, Gukesh versus Carlsen. It is a match which will really live on because if Gukesh can beat Carlsen, then it will rock the entire chess world to its core because Carlsen is gunning for a Chess World Cup title. Remember, even if he wins the Chess World Cup, it is not going to make that much of a difference because of a reason I'll explain towards the end of the video. So congratulations to Gukesh. Already he's the India number 1 after his performances in the World Cup. Now he faces the ultimate challenge in his life, that is Magnus Carlsen in the quarterfinals. But one more Indian has joined him in the fray and that is Arjun Ergiasi. So Arjun Ergiasi put on a superb show also and because of that he also sailed through. Now Arjun Ergiasi's next opponent is, you guessed it, Praggnanandhaa. Praggnanandhaa had already caused the biggest stir in the Chess World Cup when he defeated Hikaru Nakamura and today against Ferenc Beskes of Hungary, he put on a great show. After drawing the first game, he was absolutely dominant in white and that's why Praggnanandhaa is now in the quarterfinal. So it will be an all-Indian quarterfinal. So one Indian is at least guaranteed to go into the semifinals as well, which is a massive achievement indeed. So Gukesh, Praggnanandhaa and Arjun Ergiasi, these 3 guys are now in the quarterfinals and one hopes that they can make a big impact. If it is Gukesh and Praggnanandhaa, then it will be really great because a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old already taking on the might of the chess world. It is as exciting as it was in 1991 when a 22-year-old Viswanathan Anand had already beaten Karpov and Kasparov at Reggio Emilia. So that's why this contest between Gukesh, Praggnanandhaa and Ergiasi is the passing of the torch moment. However, we will know the status of the other 2 Indians only tomorrow because among all the men's section draws that were there today, the game between Vidit Gujrati and Jan Nepomniachtchi entered the tiebreakers. So after 2 classical games which both were drawn, now Vidit Gujrati and Jan Nepomniachtchi, they are going to play in the tiebreakers tomorrow. So the situation is after 2 classical games, if it is drawn, you go into the rapid tiebreakers. If you are not separated by that, you go into the blitz tiebreakers. Even after that, if the blitz tiebreakers it doesn't happen, you go into sudden death Armageddon. That is the situation. So Vidit versus Jan Nepomniachtchi will anyway be the mouth-watering clash and he had the toughest draw by the way. If Jan Nepomniachtchi goes through and he still manages to get into the final, it doesn't matter. Now about Harika Dronavalli. Remember, even she had to endure a tough draw in the women's section, and that's why Dronavalli drew, and that is why her tiebreakers will also happen tomorrow. It is very important because Dronavalli is the only Indian left in the women's section of the Chess World Cup. The entire Indian contingent received a massive jolt when Koneru Hampi was dumped out in the previous round. So, Harika Dronavalli is the only Indian woman left in the fray at this point. Now, the Chess World Cup, why is it very, very important? Because the winner of the Chess World Cup will get a direct entry into the candidates. But it does not apply to Magnus Carlsen and Jan Nepomniachtchi. Why is that? Because Carlsen is the world number one. Because he's already topped the rating system, he anyway gets a direct entry into the candidates. Same with Jan Nepomniachtchi. Nepomniachtchi, even if he wins the Chess World Cup, someone else will take his place because the loser of the World Championship gets a direct entry into the candidates. Whoever wins among all the 3 Indians or the 4 or 5 Indians who make it, the winner of the Chess World Cup gets a direct entry into the candidates to challenge Dinglisen. So even if Carlsen wins, he will not go through the Chess World Cup route. He'll go through the ratings route. Same with Nepomniachtchi, because he was there in the previous Chess World Championship and he challenged Dinglisen. He makes it to the candidates as well. So it is very important that Gukesh, Praggnanandhaa, potentially Vidit Gujrati or Arjun Ergiasi, they at least finish in the top 3. Because if Carlsen versus Nepomniachtchi final is there, none of them will qualify, and that is why Gukesh or Praggnanandhaa can go through to the candidates. But all that will change if Caruana makes it, because Fabiano Caruana is putting on a great show in the Chess World Cup. It is his resurgence as well. So Caruana can be the spoiler in this case. So tomorrow we will see the tiebreakers for Vidit Gujrati and Harika Dronavalli, and then after that we come to the quarterfinals for the men's section and the semi-finals for the women's section as well. So the Chess World Cup is really, really hotting up. One hopes that we can see all the Indians perform well and they make the country really, really proud. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you.